Hello, welcome back to The Gory Gaze, the horror podcast where two boyfriends slash up and bleed out your favorite
and not so favorite
horror movies, ranging from classics to new releases.
Yeah, and underrated, underdogs, forgotten ones.
Yeah, I added a little sugar to that, but then we fucked it up like always. Hello.
Yeah, you know.
Hi.
Here we are. Welcome back. Oh my god. Welcome back, guys. Gemini season is in full effect.
Yes.
It's so funny because the last few nights at work, it's been birthdays. And I'm like, y'all, is it really your birthday? Almost every customer has been like, yeah, it's today. And I'm like, you know what? Thank you. I love a Gemini.
Yeah.
We're Geminis.
We're bonding.
We're Geminis. We're bonding like crazy.
This is it, guys. Let's call the corners and get our shit back.
Yeah. We're dancing with the devil.
Let's get paid.
Late night with the devil.
Late night with the
That's
devil.
what we're talking about today.
Yes, we are. This is our episode today. Early, though, with the late night with the devil.
Yeah. Well, it's before noon.
Yes.
And we're going to release this on a Sunday. We pushed this episode back, later on for the weekend because we recorded as guest hosts for Ghoul Friends with our friend Lindsay for an episode that's going to come out in a few weeks. It's not until July, I don't think.
Yeah, she's super smart. She's ahead of the time. So she kind of like accumulates a stack of podcasts that she can throw out throughout the months. And she will get to enjoy her summer while we're over here working on our podcast.
Yeah, we just do everything last minute. But I think most podcasters do that. I think they like have Google calendars and like the schedule things. Like,
oh, you mean like their shit together?
Yeah, they have their shit together. We were invited on 2 other podcasts. And they had given us options on what movie we wanted to talk about and when we wanted to talk about it. And it was like as far as December. And I was like, what? You have like months in advance? This is awesome and inspiring. But also, again, here we are recording literally 12 hours before we're going to drop the episode.
We're like pushing our volume buttons and figuring shit out all over again.
And that was my fault though, because we record with 2 mics specifically for the podcast. And I have a Blue Yeti mic that my mom got me a few years ago for, I don't know, Christmas or my birthday or something. Oh, look, there's Fear Street Girl. She's just fucking wandering to her car. We're just stalking her.
Yeah. We don't even have to move like to stalk her. We can just see her from the window as we're broadcasting.
Wandering down the side. That's so funny. She had her arms flying about. Anyway.
She's no longer Fear Street Girl. We're going to know her as the Exorcist.
Exorcism Girl.
Exorcism Girl.
Exorcist.
Let me just stop there. Yeah. Whoever else says the word exorcist, like the way I do, I throw the word egg in it. Like
I was going to say you said it correctly that time.
Yeah. Well, I was trying to explain for the ones that do say exorcist or exorcist.
Oh, you're doing it on purpose.
Yeah. Okay. When I was a kid, that was my favorite movie. So I would always say, like, have you watched The Exorcist?
I'm trying to think of words that I don't pronounce correctly.
Everything?
No, I'm a pretty intelligible being.
He's one of those correct dolls. Like all day long, I'm getting corrected. I'm like, you know what I mean? Like, just go ahead, proceed with your day. Let me speak the way I spoke.
So the Blue Yeti mic, I had plugged into this audio mixer, and I have like just been sitting on this thing for years. And a lot of people don't know that I moved here to sing like years and years and years ago. So I had finally got this cord to plug into the audio mixer and use it to start recording music. So that's why the volume levels and stuff were all fucked up. And we're going to start like playing with singing stuff, Alex and I. Yeah. I'm really excited about that.
We'll put our vocals to work.
Yeah, because a lot of people don't know that Alex is a truly gifted vocalist.
Ursula's been after me.
I am going to steal that voice.
That was ugly.
No, it was beautiful. I'm also in the shower and I can hear him belting Savage Garden. And then
I mean, it's probably like the easiest song to sing.
Oh, it's cute.
I knew I loved you before I met you.
Oh, you guys, it's so cute. I love it. Oh my gosh, what have we been up to?
So much stuff, but the one thing I can actually say is spontaneously, Stanley and I got our Universal passes. Did we talk about this already?
No,
right? We haven't podcasted since. So
no, it's been a minute. Well, that's what I was kind of alluding to, is that we had to push this episode back because we had guest hosted on the Ghoul Friends. And that's a lot of podcasting. We had guest hosted on Ghoul Friends, and then we had guest hosted on Scotty's podcast. And done our own podcast, and then between editing that and the video commentary and all that stuff, whatever, like, you know what? It's a lot of work.
It is a lot of work.
Come on.
So we treated ourselves.
Yeah. And what did we do?
We got ourselves Universal passes.
The Universal Studios, girl. It's right over the hill.
It's literally right over the hill, like
right over the
10 minutes away, and we can take the train or the subway, I mean. And
we
it's
don't.
Like, it's where horror lives. Like, why wouldn't we go? Like,
it is. But we had gone, and this is also a thing. And, like, I'm sure we'll elaborate on this much more when the time arises, but I had just started watching the Harry Potter films, which is why, which is why we decided to get passes, because Alex has never visited Harry Potter World.
No, but I am obsessed with Harry Potter, the movies. Yeah. And this is one thing, like when I was married to my ex-husband, of course, and that's who else, right? He wouldn't like to watch the movies with me. Like, nobody really does like Harry Potter.
Oh,
you know? So,
I didn't know that he didn't like that.
No, it's like why I never really like pursued, the let's go to Universal. Like, really? Like, I mean, or else I would have just gone. But
well,
yeah.
I'm going to interrupt you. Universal's hit or miss.
Yeah, it really is.
Go ahead.
So, yeah. And plus I have a Disney pass. And if you're a Disney person, then you kind of know, like the vibe. Yeah. So, yeah. So we went. And this was so random too. Like, we were gonna go to the theater to go watch the TV glows. And
I saw the TV glow.
Oh yeah, I saw the TV glow. What did I say?
the TV glows. Close enough.
Oh, the TV glows. So,
Alex.
Whatever. Yeah, we ended up inside of the park, got on some of the rides, had some drinks, and non-alcoholic. We were just like drinking. What did we drink?
Butterbeer.
Oh yeah, we had butterbeer for the first time ever. It was so good.
Yeah, I've had it many times.
Yeah.
But this was the first time that I have actually enjoyed like the Harry Potter land, because if y'all have ever listened to our Worst Witch episode, I kind of, I had things to say about Harry Potter and how I just wasn't like ever really interested in delving into it, because I just don't really love J.K. Rowling as a person. And this is now, I'm at a point in my life, I guess, where I can disassociate that from this, because y'all, I'm on the Harry Potter Hogwarts Express train, because I'm fucking obsessed. We're on the 4th movie. Anyway, so
here's the thing. You haven't stopped watching Harry Weinstein movies.
Harry, you mean Harvey?
What the fuck is wrong with me today?
But hey, like,
and every day.
He's not like a prominent figure in those films.
You know how to separate the film from the director and like get into it. So it's actually a really like, it feels like a privilege to be the person that you get to watch these movies with after being so against them. It feels like, yes,
and and people have tried before.
Yeah.
Ashley has tried, and like I think that Jordan has tried to talk me into watching one of these before in the past. I actually saw the 5th one in theaters with my mom and Jordan, but I fell asleep because I was so high.
Oh, shit. Well, and what's funny is that was my first time ever getting high. Like, watching the first Harry Potter movie, we were outside of the theater, and I was like, are you sure this is the right thing to do? And like, we're all smoking. And we went in and we watched the theater. I've never been back. I fell in love with Harry Potter that same day.
There was no way I was going to attempt one of these movies without being stoned. And my mom was so mad at me. She was like, you fell asleep 8 minutes in. I'll shut the fuck up. Oh, but we get into Harry Potter land, and I had been on all the rides in Harry Potter land before, just once, because again, I just didn't care for the idea of it at the time. And the one ride that I remember being terrible had broke down like 25 seconds in, so I wasn't able to experience it fully. And I was like, oh, it's not even that long, I can handle it. I'm not big on motion sickness, you guys. I have a really weak stomach.
Yeah.
I can't even go on a fucking boat, you know
that
what I mean?
ride, it's just so fucking intense.
Oh my god, I literally had a fucking aneurysm. Like, this thing was thrashing me around, and I was like kicking Alex in the legs, and he probably has bruises at this point. It took everything in me to not throw up. I was sweating.
Like, he had his hands to his head clenched, like his eyes closed, like his legs swinging back and forth. I was like, what the fuck is going on? I grabbed his hand. He's just like smacking my hand. I was like, oh my god, he's about to fucking seizure out on me.
Oh god.
I was so worried after that. But this ride, it's just so intense. The part with the Dementors, that shit scares the fuck out of me.
It was rough.
Yeah.
And it was the first ride we went on, and it was also the last ride we went on. But thankfully we had passes. So we walked around a lot and saw the Mario land, which is underwhelming because it's also just not that great.
Yeah,
I was really
wasn't.
disappointed.
No.
But also, you have to like buy that $500 wristband in order to participate in the fucking
To do anything.
silly games. Yeah, but I mean, we're gonna go back. It's cute.
Yeah.
But
No, absolutely. For $200, you could go like the entire for 9 months.
we have 9 months, and we
And
can
we're like,
go whenever we want.
We can go for lunch. Just get on the tour. You know, like
Yeah.
go to the tour, the tram.
I love the tram.
Yeah.
The tram's cute.
Get on some rides. Do some lunch.
What else have we been up to?
Other than that, I watched the Creep 2. I know we talked about Creep 1 last
yeah.
episode. We actually talked about it with Scotty. But yeah, I watched Creep 1 and now I watch Creep 2.
You've watched both of them, and I haven't seen either of them.
Mhm.
I've seen bits and pieces of the first one, but I haven't seen
Yeah.
either of them, if at all.
And you're like, what's the difference? I'm like, well, the first one, he's creepy. And the second one, he's just the creep.
and has long hair.
Yeah. And that's it.
I know that. Yeah, we watched we watched Lovely, Dark and Deep.
Oh, yeah.
That was the it was a Tubi original, and it has that girl from what was she in? Barbarian. And I don't think you've seen Barbarian.
No.
It's a weird film. I only saw it once in theaters, but that was a weird one to watch. But Lovely, Dark and Deep was good.
Mhm.
It was a lot better than it had any right to be. And Tubi just keeps pumping out like
Yeah.
those weird, like low budget but really polished and really decent horror films, like between Lowlifes and that. And there's a couple that I have on our list from Tubi that we still have to watch, but I really liked Lovely, Dark and Deep. What did you think?
I liked it too.
Yeah.
The way that it was set up with that whole being in the woods, you know.
Yeah, and how she was like a park ranger. I had no idea
Yeah.
that there was like stuff that comes with being a park ranger.
So this park ranger sits in a cabin for a certain amount of months or weeks, I believe, and she just kind of like lingers on them in the mountain, like throughout the day, just trying to find people that get lost, you know, throughout the woods as they're hiking.
It's fucking wild, yeah. And then there's just so much more that comes with it.
Yeah.
That girl can act. What the fuck is her name?
Georgina Campbell.
Oh,
She plays
guys.
Lennon.
And she's British or she's Australian? I don't know, but I didn't even know. She's got the Nicole Kidman thing because
She's an English actress.
oh,
yes.
girl. And she is beautiful.
Yeah, she won the 2015 BAFTA TV Award for Best Actress. Murdered by My Boyfriend.
Oh, I like that. Yeah, you guys should watch that. We also watched a movie from 2004 that Ryan Coe tried to get me to watch back when it came out, called Malevolence.
Oh, yeah.
And it has a couple of sequels. I mean, the last one came out, I think, in 2021, even Malevolence 3. It was all right. I liked the last 20 minutes. The last 20 minutes are a very solid slasher film. But man, the first hour was kind of a slag to get through.
Yeah, really.
But I think I personally watched The Stepfather Part 2 because we were on this weird Jonathan Brandis kick. And we were trying to locate the apartment building where he tragically ended his life. And we haven't visited it yet, but I don't know if a lot of people know this about me, but I'm obsessed with filming locations where horror movies have been filmed and also where celebrities have either taken their own life or have been killed.
Yeah, hello, why not?
We live in Hollywood.
We do. And the next street over, it's a haunted house from
There is. It's been rumored that Mary Pickford, one of the original actresses from the silent movie days, used to live there. And I guess a band from the 70s or 80s used to throw wild parties there and sacrifice babies.
Yeah. Wow.
Some shit.
Talking about satanic cults.
I was just about to say that will get us right into a segue here in a moment of what Alex brought home to me the other day, but we'll start talking about that when we get into everything. I wanted to mention another movie that I watched called Caliber. It is a movie that is on Netflix. It's been out for a couple of years, and it's about these two best friends who go on a hunting trip. And the hunting trip does not go as planned. And it just reminded me of this movie called Eden Lake that came out, I don't know, maybe 15, 18 years ago, something like that. But if y'all get the chance, watch Caliber, because it was just such a thriller. And it's not necessarily a horror movie, but it had me on the edge of my seat. And it's hard for me, and I know you and I have talked about this, but it's hard for me personally, and I'm sure a lot of people can relate, to sit down and actually pay attention and watch a movie, especially during the day.
Yeah.
And me and Gypsy just sat here and were just invested and on the ride with these two guys. And it was like an American Werewolf in London without the werewolves. It was so fucking good. It was just so fucking good. And it reminded me of this movie called Blue Ruin. And I recommend it.
It's so funny that you say werewolves. We've been on a werewolf week.
Yeah, Ginger Snaps, guys.
Ginger Snaps.
Watch Ginger
and then
Snaps.
that whole like Harry Potter drag scene where Ron gets dragged. And what else did we do? Or what else did we see that I saw? That I was like, it reminds me so much of that scene when Evil lurks.
When Evil lurks.
And that little girl's getting fucking chewed up by that dog.
Dude, Ghoul Friends just released an episode on that too. Yeah,
yes.
You guys go listen to Ghoul Friends. Lindsay is so fun.
She's awesome, dude.
The
I really
accent
like her a lot.
is my favorite.
Yes.
And she's just such a fucking blast. And I know we talked about it on Scotty's podcast last week, but The Witch in the Window is a wild little nice horror film on Shudder, guys. It's been out a couple years, but check it out. Check it out. I don't know if I talked about it. Did we talk about it last episode?
So. No, I think we forgot to talk or mention it.
Yeah, I don't think we talked about it. That was just a quiet little spooky movie. And it was just quick and had just like all the good ingredients of like a little haunted house movie.
Yeah.
And little kids usually annoy the shit out of me. And the little boy in that movie just acted his ass off. And I fucking loved it. Now, the last movie I think we should talk about before we get into this is The Strangers Chapter 1.
Oh, gosh. Have we not done this?
We haven't.
Are you going to revisit this?
We have to. We have to, because I don't plan on talking about this movie anytime soon otherwise. And also, go listen to our Strangers Pray at Night episode, because we talk at length about that movie, and that movie is far superior. The Strangers Chapter 1 is obviously the first of not just 2, but 3 new films.
Yeah, we need to close that chapter.
Yeah, it just wasn't great, guys. I know that we're trying to bring back a brand, I guess. I was kind of looking forward to it. I really liked the lead actress. I think she was probably the best part of the film.
Mm-hmm.
But there was just so many
It's because it's just should have been an 8-episode series. Probably something better. They would have invested so much more money and maybe more effective for the audience, because it's just something we've already seen, and it just feels like the Broadway play version of it again.
Yeah, like if you're gonna do something, just do something different. Like you could have just given us another sequel. You didn't have to give us a remake. And I honestly don't give a fuck about anybody in this movie. I didn't care enough about Madeline Poach, whatever her name is.
Yeah.
I mean, she's beautiful, and she did what she could.
And
but go ahead.
The music's good, but it wasn't Strangers good.
And like even what was happening within the movie wasn't Strangers.
Mm-hmm.
Like it just didn't feel like the same universe. Like I didn't feel like they were trying to do anything new. I have never seen so many fucking stupid decisions made by characters in a movie before. Like you and I were just like, what?
Yeah.
Like, what are they doing? I loved that they were in Oregon.
Yeah.
That was cool.
Put it this way, 20% on Rotten Tomatoes.
Is that all it has?
Yeah, that's all it has.
Get out.
No.
Oh, how ugly.
But I did like in the intro of the movie when they first arrive, it's kind of like they're the strangers, because the entire town's just like staring at them, and it's like that's what they meant by strangers become strangers, or I'm not sure.
Yeah, that's fine. But I mean, if you guys want to watch a Rennie Harlan movie, go watch A Nightmare on Elm Street 4. You know, like, go watch fucking Last Action Hero. Like, Long Kiss Goodnight.
Yeah.
Don't waste your time. And if you're going to watch this movie, just wait till it's streaming, because it's, or if you have the AMC app.
Or when it's on Lifetime.
Oh my God, it's like the Lifetime Strangers.
Yeah.
It's like the Tubi Strangers. Like, what's happening?
I don't know. Tubi would have been more...
Probably better. Probably fucking better. Oh, and you know what? Here, I watched Pinocchio's Revenge.
Yeah, you did.
That was better than this piece of shit. Oh my God, you guys watch Pinocchio's Revenge.
Yeah, and that actually inspired like some upcoming events in the gory gay side with the whole watching Pinocchio.
Oh, yes. Yeah. Okay, yes.
Yeah, got some little balls rolling there.
I was like, what are you talking about? I love that.
You guys will have to stay tuned to find out.
You absolutely will.
Yeah.
It took me literally more than that. I was like, do I get it? But I do get it. Okay, yes. Yeah, guys, we have some fun things happening. I know we always say that, and it's like, do they actually? Like,
yeah, we do.
Do we actually have things happening? But yeah, we do. We do, guys.
Welcome home, Sydney. Watch the preview of coming events.
So we have already talked about how we're going to have our really wonderful, beautiful friend Monica on the podcast in a few weeks discussing The Craft. We don't know if that's going to be an audio commentary or just a regular episode, but she will be our first guest, and we're both really excited to have her on the show, because that's what this is.
Yes.
It's a show.
We converse.
Yeah, it'll be a late night with the devil indeed.
Absolutely. We're going to find a little bit about her. She'll find out a little bit about us. We'll find out a little bit about the movie.
I know a lot about her, and I know a lot about the movie. Did you know the movie is... Oh, I was going to say the movie's a Gemini. I'm already wrong. The movie's a Taurus.
Boo.
Early May.
And I know that we've mentioned this already, I think, but I love that we can walk to like the little shop from The Craft, you know, where they go and like steal shit from.
I love that. And a fun fact, and I know that we'll probably talk about this when we do talk about The Craft, but Firuza Balk, who plays Nancy, who just had a birthday, by the way, she owned this really, really cool little shop called Pan Pipes Magical over in Hollywood years and years and years ago. Like maybe before the movie even came out. I mean, she never worked there or anything. She just owned it and had
Was it like a pop-up just to put the name?
Oh no, it was like an actual like hole in the wall, like little shop, like that had like sage and incense. It was like a little occult shop. Oh. And I think she might have like popped in from time to time, but a friend of hers and her owned it together. And it was always closed. Like, I think she ended up parting ways with it at one point. I don't think she was a part of it for very long. I had stopped by many times. It was always closed. And then finally was able to get in like 2017 or 16 or something. And I got a positivity bracelet. The lady who was there was like, just wear this until it falls off. It'll fall off at the right time. She had a great accent.
You're a good witch.
Yeah. And one day it fell off. I had it for like 4 months though. But yeah, that place isn't there anymore.
Oh.
I don't know what happened to it.
It was a porn friend.
I think there was a porn store right next to it.
Oh gosh, they bought it.
Happy late birthday, Firuza Bulk.
Happy late birthday, girl.
Almost a Gemini.
I actually watched the movie this past week.
I think
on Sunday. I watched it last Sunday.
The Craft?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I don't know why I was going to say Return to Oz.
No, it's such a fun movie to watch, especially in the afternoon. Like if you just pop it in like at 2:00, The Craft, you know, and like the music that comes along with it and the feeling of hanging out with the girls.
Yeah.
Like, it's so fucking cool.
They're just, they're the coolest group of bitches.
Yeah, it's like the way it was written and every single thing about that movie is like so fucking amazing.
Oh, The Craft. I'm looking at the poster right now.
Anyways, okay.
I know, we digress.
Let's get into this.
Well, we still have a few things to say. Jeez. Okay, so our review next week, we're closing out May. We're coming back on Thursday, guys, with The Coffee Table.
Well, we got 5 weeks in May.
I know. Say The Coffee Table in Spanish, because that's what the movie's actually called. This whole film is in Spanish. And it's going to be great. It's going to be our first foreign language film. And I'm so fucking excited to talk about this movie. Again, it's a horror film. Go ahead.
La Mesita Baja.
There we go. It's I'm just gonna leave it at that. That's what we're closing out May with, guys. Trigger warning all around for quite a few things, mostly just for parents.
What?
All the parents, just be aware. This is getting a lot of buzz. It's out there, so y'all should watch it. And then I think we can basically confirm that we have scored a conversation with a cast member from a Children of the Corn film. I'm not going to say who, and I'm not going to say which film, but we can basically confirm that that is a fact. And that's
I can say it.
Yeah, and you can, but don't do it. But that's something that's going to be coming up soon. And I know that that's something I've kind of hinted at in the past as well, but I didn't want to like say anything until I knew that it was going to be happening, but I've gotten a little bit more word on that. And I'm pretty happy about that. But yeah, guys, that's pretty much it as far as what's to come in the next few weeks. And then it's summer.
It is.
Summer,
it's already
summer,
here.
Summer.
Dude.
Oh, summer. Oh. And then apparently we're going to be famous singers in the next few weeks.
Yeah, we are. So stay
Watch out.
tuned. Watch out for our album.
The Gory Gaze.
The Gory Gazes.
Okay. I guess it's time for People Under the Stairs, bitch.
No.
No.
The People Under the Stairs.
Okay, so this is it. We're going to go Late Night with the Devil. Sorry, I didn't know we're doing People Under the Stairs. The way I came back.
I'm
with
all
that.
ready for a plot.
Yeah, so Late Night with the Devil. I don't know why it's telling me it's a 2023 film. So
Well, it had a screening at South by Southwest last March. So technically, it's a 2023 movie. Theoretically, it was released this March.
okay.
So
Perfect.
I had that in my notes too.
Well, we say 2023 or 24 because I feel like it's a 24 movie.
I mean, it was theoretically released
Yeah.
for everybody this year. So
So
I think
when
it's
you-
a 2024
yeah.
movie, personally.
Fuck it.
Is this our first 2024 film?
No.
It is.
it?
It's our first
What?
like new release.
No.
Yeah.
Don't say, no, we did no, we
Infinity Pool was 2023.
did. You're right. Okay.
Wow.
Well, so was this one.
I'm gonna consider this a 2024 movie.
Fuck it.
Fuck up, bitch.
Okay, written and directed and edited by Colin and Cameron Cairns. It stars David Dashmalchian,
Beautiful.
Laura Gordon, Ian Bliss, Faisal Badzi, Ingrid Torelli, Georgina Hayek. Oh, I didn't even realize that. And Josh Kwong Tart. I didn't realize that Georgina's Hayek's last name, isn't that the character's name, Hayek?
I think his name is Carmichael Haig. Yeah.
Yeah, right?
Yeah, you're right.
Oh, wow. So there's a little connection. I wonder why. Anywho, okay. Cinematography, I have Matthew Temple. A beautiful job, Matthew Temple. Wow, thank you for giving us this.
The 70s
Yeah.
TV aesthetic is terrific.
There's something about that little filter that just seems like you're watching the Brady Bunch.
Oh, it's so good.
Yeah. Music by Glenn Richards, Roscoe James Irwin, which the music is fucking brilliant. It's literally what made the show a late night show, because this is when they're coming back from commercials and all the music that they're playing coming back. It's exactly what you hear in late night shows like David Letterman or what used to be, or what still is Jimmy Kimmel, you know,
Like Johnny Carson.
Johnny Carson, like
Yeah.
just coming, even now, like when you listen to Jimmy Kimmel coming back from commercials, that's the music that they roll with.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh,
honestly.
I don't watch any late night TV anymore. I used to. I
And
used to
even-
watch a lot of late night TV.
Even for like the Halloween effects, how they do that, you know, like coming
Oh,
back from
gosh.
commercials, it's fucking amazing.
I love it.
Production companies, we have a couple, so we won't.
Oh my God, we're
Unless
not
you
going to
wanna-
talk about any of them, but we will say that there's like 100 of them.
Yeah,
I
there
was
really is.
laughing out loud in the theater. Remember when we saw this in theaters and I was like,
Mhm.
oh my God, there's another one. Oh my God, there's a fucking another one. Like how many fucking, hold on, let me count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 production companies behind this fucking movie.
But we'll name IFC Films as one and Shudder, of course.
Oh my God, Shudder.
Yes.
Hey, Shudder.
Hey,
Pay
Shudder.
us.
Shout
Pay
out.
us, Shudder.
Now, release date is what we were talking about. I have one for March 10th, 2023.
And that was for South by Southwest.
Nice. And then we have the 22nd of March, 2024 in the United States.
And that's where we saw it. We saw it opening day, yo.
Australia got it in April.
No.
Running time on the film is 93 minutes. Too long or 93 minutes not enough? Give me more.
I think that they could have chopped off the last 10 minutes, but we'll talk about it.
Okay,
It could have been an hour and 20 minutes.
let's go.
Mhm.
Language English, of course. And for budget, I could not find anything, but Stanley did some deep dive in and he came up with, I believe what they spent on.
The special effects, which was $150,000, allegedly.
And that really ain't shit for what they did. Like there was so many special effects in this movie. It genuinely
Oh.
was.
You
what?
think that there was a lot of special effects?
Wasn't the fucking ending a whole display of special effects?
But I mean, I think that was all visual. I think that most of that being visual, that could have all been done with computer.
But you don't think that falls for the visual effect
I
department?
don't
Because
know.
honestly,
I
then
can't.
There's no other budget.
I can't attest to like how much that would cost. I have no idea. But like, how much are you going to pay your actors? You know. And I know that these are independent actors. Like I know like David Dastmalchian is like an independent actor for the most part. Laura Gordon as well. And I know the others are not like huge in the industry, you know. I've never really seen them before. But I hope they gave our little Lily a good penny because she's a chef's kiss, guys.
Yeah, she really is. Honestly, she's the one that brought the fucking 70s aesthetic to this show. It's her look, her hair, the way she fucking bounces when she walks in. You know, like she does that girl next door type of vibe. Like she gives you that vibe.
Yeah.
Her outfit, her hair, her eyes, every single thing about this girl. Her voice in particular, I love watching her. Like just, she just fucking did such an amazing job.
Yeah, she is this movie.
Mm-hmm.
I think that the casting of her is probably was probably the most important piece of this puzzle. This movie got a lot of hype.
So, as we're speaking about Lily, do you want me to, should I throw in like what I've researched and how I found out something about how this character got created, or do you want to wait through the plot?
Yeah, go ahead.
So I was doing some research, right? Because I was like, how did they create this amazing fucking character and specifically choose this girl to play it out? Maybe this movie might have been created, or even like the idea of it existing from this book that was made a while ago, named Michelle Remembers. And it's the story about this girl, Michelle, and she's telling the story through the book of how she remembers being given to a cult that, a satanic cult, her life just, literally living with this cult, and then escaping the cult and writing this book with a psychologist that kind of found her, which is kind of like the story with Lily and her doctor as well in this movie. And, it's just like, it fascinates me the fact that this is, I think, the connection of how they created Lily. And well, I mean, if it's not just my theory, like honestly, like after doing the research, I was just like, how the fuck did they create this character? I kind of found it through like somebody else's theory that this is the idea of where it came from. And if you follow, because it's out, the documentary on Netflix, right? Is where you found it?
It's on Tubi.
On Tubi, sorry.
It's a Tubi original.
Yeah, it's a Tubi original. Check it out. And it's like the entire story of Lily, because the movie doesn't specifically focus on Lily. It's focused on Jack, of course, and what he's going through and what he did to get the show. And if you want to learn about like Lily's actual story, I would suggest go watch the documentary on Tubi. But also, it's one of those disappointing endings as well. So,
I don't even know if it's a disappointing ending.
Not
It just
really.
it built us up for something to where you thought that it was going to be something else, and it just ended up turning into like a family melodrama.
And this will unfold as the movie, like the plot goes on. Like I'll throw in like what my theory is on how Michelle got fucked up in the head as well as like Lily by their psychiatrist,
I love
by their
it.
doctor, psychologist.
Yeah, because he came home and he was like, you have to watch this documentary. I think it'll coincide a lot with Late Night with the Devil. I got through like 30 minutes of it, like on my AirPods at work. And I was like, okay. And I watched the trailer and I was like, holy shit. Like, how did Late Night with the Devil slide? And no one's ever heard of this movie. And I was like, Alex can't have only been the only person that has put this movie with this movie. So like I Googled it, and really a lot of people have not put this movie in the same category with this movie. Like a few people have, but like it was really mind blowing. So we watched the documentary together. It is really fascinating that like this is not more talked about. Like I'm just really amazed that I've never heard about this, and that more people are not talking about this, especially hand in hand with the release of this film.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was quite a find. It's really interesting to watch Late Night with the Devil after watching Michelle Remembers.
So if you've seen the movie Late Night with the Devil, and they're showing the clip of Lily, and how they're like introducing Lily to us, and you see like the clips of her in the cult, this is what Michelle Remembers is all about. Like those clips of her in the cult and the naked people around her, and like, them doing all that satanic shit. This is what the book is about, and also the documentary. So check it out. Like, it's pretty dope.
Yeah, 1,000%. And even the ending, like it's still, it doesn't end happily. It's like really bleak, and it's really sad for a lot of the people involved, because ultimately it's horror for those people, and we've talked about that before. So check it out, and then watch this,
Honestly, or vice versa.
Yeah, exactly. Wait, did you tell us the box office?
No. So this box office is silly, right? Because to me, I was like, come on.
We couldn't find a budget, but
yeah. So for budget, there was a point in where the movie came out. It literally box office 12.1 million altogether, right? At one point of the movie, when it just premiered in theaters, I think somebody might have stopped it at 666,000, whatever. So the numbers would literally be 600, 666. And it's like, okay, that's kind of cute for marketing. It's great. Let's keep the movie going.
It's a marketing play.
Yeah. So in reality, altogether, 12.1 million is what it brought in. And, for what we heard in special effects, 150,000, would you say? 160,000?
That's all they spent on effects. That's all I read.
That ain't shit.
Either way, like, they probably didn't spend a lot of money on this movie. This movie doesn't look cheap necessarily, but it looks like a fucking talk show. You know, they probably spent the money that they spent wisely, and a lot of it probably was on marketing.
Honestly, like, it's like taking a picture of your grandparents, like great grandparents, and having it like, how do you say it? Like when they remaster it, or kind of like a remastered picture. So I think that's kind of like what this cost, because they've filtered and created like this movie. Like the vision in this movie is so fucking, it looks very old. Like, you're honestly watching, like, old TV broadcasting. Like, there's so much filter in this movie. It looks amazing. It's almost like a dreamscape type of filter, but it's not. It's just, like, 70s TV.
Yeah, it's really authentic. It was filmed in Melbourne, Australia. There was a lot of practical effects that were utilized within the production, including, but not limited to, puppetry. There was this whole AI thing that was being talked about during the release of it. And when I had read that, I originally thought they were talking about like the audience members that were watching the show being filmed. But I guess it was talking about the footage that was being shown at the beginning of the movie during the intro, like the television broadcast, which, by the way, the opening, I'm so sorry.
You're good.
The opening is narrated by Michael Ironside. Did you know that?
Who's Michael Ironside? Let me get all Alex right now.
I'm going to let you Google him. Google him.
You know what? And I'm going to be like, oh, this guy.
Exactly. Pause for Alex.
Okay, Michael
Ironside. He's going to be at Monsterpalooza on Sunday.
My phone is saying Michelle. I hate when my phone does that.
Michelle remembers, but Alex does not.
Oh, this guy.
Of course. Yeah. From Hello, Mary Lou,
exactly.
Prom Night 2, bitch. We didn't say that we were going to be at Monsterpalooza.
No, we didn't, but we did it on our Instagram during our Beetlejuice.
That's coming out in September. That's something we're looking forward to as well. We did a trailer reaction to Beetlejuice. Go check it out on our YouTube. What else? This movie got a lot of hype, you guys. Like, it was really, really well received, and Stephen King praised it. That was a thing. I mean, Stephen King praises a lot of stuff, but he had said that this was something he couldn't take his eyes off of, and that people were really going to love it. When Stephen King likes something, I will more than likely go see it. But he called it brilliant. And that was one thing I took with me when we went to go see it.
Okay, so here's some numbers, which I think IMDb has a 7.1 out of 10, and they're pretty good at giving it the score, I believe. Rotten Tomatoes has 97%, but Shudder, you know, for the distributor company, 4.2 out of 5. Oh, well, you know what? That's actually pretty good.
I'm fine with that.
That's actually pretty great. 4.2 out of 5 is amazing. Other than that,
I think you are. Did you just sing something?
No, I said
it sounded like you went. Oh, it sounded like you went. Yeah, they're brothers, by the way.
Yeah. Oh, good.
The Cairns are brothers.
Yeah. Sorry, I didn't give you the Metacritic score, but they did a 72 out of 100 based on 22 critics.
Yeah, it's well received. I think that it is worthy of all the good attention that it is received. I do have a couple of quibbles, but I don't think that it takes away from the experience each time that I watch it. We've watched it a couple of times. The theatrical experience that we had was really good. I loved the theatrical experience we had. And
there was honestly no better way to watch it than in theaters, because it was just fucking the screen surrounding you with all that drama going on.
And it's so funny because the lady that was sitting next to us was just laughing at the most inopportune times, and she was like 100 years old.
Yeah.
It was so wild. And and I feel like we find something a little more worth pointing out each time we watch it.
Yeah.
You know, and again, Lily, she's just such an actress. Like, she's such an actor, and I think that she totally got what she was doing, and it's really interesting to watch people do their thing.
She just has like this fucking robotic look. It's just like, I just can't explain it. Like, she's really, honestly, really a great actress. She did such an amazing job I'm telling you, that's the moment that she steps on stage, the way that she walks is like so aesthetically 70s. It's so pleasing, honestly. It looks really good. And her outfit, the way her hair flows, her blue eyes.
Yeah. Oh man. Yeah, we'll talk about it when we start talking about the plot and such, I think this kind of has been put in the same category as a film called Ghost Watch, which we have both seen. It's also available on Shudder. It's a 1992 mockumentary from, I think it's England or Britain or something. It's British.
Yeah.
I don't think it's all that great.
Not really. If you're going to put yourself through it just to compare films, don't do it. Just watch this one.
But I do find it fascinating that it came out in 92. And it's one of those older movies that has been around for so long, and neither of us knew about it. And I mean, it's before the Blair Witch Project, plug, and it's before a lot of things. There's also a movie, by the way, called Incident at Lake County. Have you ever seen it?
I've heard of it. It's on Netflix or
no? It's on YouTube.
Really?
It's on YouTube. Yeah.
I think you might have showed me a trailer maybe whiles ago.
It's like it's another found footage like short movie about aliens, and that's all I'm gonna say. It scared the shit out of me. Caleb showed it to me when we were kids, and I fucking couldn't sleep.
It's still available on YouTube?
It might be. We'll have to look for it. But yeah, guys. So before we get into it, I guess we should say that nothing. That's it. Let's just get into it.
Yeah,
let's just get into Late Night with the Devil, guys. There's not much else to say. Everyone loves this movie. We really like it as well, and we're excited to break down this plot for you. So, go turn off your lights.
No, go grab your Snuggies and turn on your TV sets, because we're about to watch Late Night with the Devil.
Oh, well, yeah, sure. That works too. Jeez. Late Night with the Devil goes like this.
4. Now, here's Mr. Midnight, Jack Darrow.
Oh, good evening, night owls, and thank you for allowing me into your living rooms once again. Well, night owls, we've got a heck of a show in store for you tonight, and I'm very excited for you to see it all unfold before your very eyes. I really hope you love it. Gosh, I hope you love it. Please love it. Love it.
I'm trying to host a nationally syndicated talk show.
And I'm trying to help you keep it on the air.
We all know how important it is to keep our sponsors and affiliates happy, but in my humble opinion, there is only one person who really matters in this whole darn crazy business. And that is you, our viewer.
You're meddling with things you don't understand.
Whoa! Now, as you know, here on Night Owls, we think it's very important to keep an open mind. Please welcome Dr. June Ross Mitchell and Lily, the young subject of the book, Conversations with the Devil.
I really don't think it's a good idea, Jack. She's becoming more unpredictable.
That's a good thing. That's why we still do live TV.
Ladies and gentlemen, please stay tuned for a live television first as we attempt to commune with the devil.
Lily, can you hear me?
Good to see you again, Jack.
Lily, return to me.
This isn't about ratings anymore.
No one's going anywhere.
How could you let it happen, Jack? How could you let it happen?
Please be warned, anyone with young children in the room. What you're about to see.
You okay, Jack?
Is profoundly disturbing and shocking.
You get out there, Mr. Midnight. And you knock him dead.
Okay, so we start off with an old television that is showing news channels from the 70s. Mostly war and mayhem ads and commercials and Charles Manson. I almost said Marilyn Manson, but that would put us in 1997 and not 1971.
Hey, I said Harry for Harvey.
There we are. But then we get a rundown on the history of the Night Owl late night show. And like I said, this is started in 1971. The show is hosted by Jack Delroy, and this is played by, what's his name? David
Dalmatian.
That's the one. Thank you. Kardashian.
Yeah, honestly, almost.
Yeah, you said that you watched a lot of late night TV?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Who did you love growing up? Because I was really big on Conan for a long time. I loved Conan O'Brien. I thought he was so funny. And I really liked Craig Ferguson.
Really?
Yeah, I thought Craig Ferguson was great.
I would just be stuck on like Jimmy Fallon and Jay Leno for like a long time.
I feel like Jimmy Fallon was later in the game.
Yeah, he really was. Well, he was like
Leno,
the newer version of a late night show.
Yeah, I like Jay Leno too. Yeah. Jay Leno was, I feel like he was a little more political.
Because I would watch those shows and then Jerry Springer took over.
Oh my God, daytime trash.
Yeah, but they put Jerry Springer at night. Why do I sound echoey? I feel like I sound so far away. Okay, there it is.
I think you sound great.
Hi.
Hey.
Hello.
Hello.
Okay.
I also wanted to say that I love the Newsweek stuff and how he's on front of all the newspapers and like the Time magazines, and I don't know if he's on Time, but he's on front of like the Newsweeks and stuff.
He's blowing up.
He was on Variety, actually.
Yeah.
He was on the cover of Variety, yeah. So he's successful, and but he's never number one. And he has a lovely wife named Madeline, and we learned that he's associated with a men's only club.
Yeah.
Sounds pretty gay.
May I mention Madeline is gorgeous.
Oh, she's really pretty. Who plays Madeline? Georgina Hag. That's the Hag.
Yeah.
So the men's only club is called The Grove, which is, let's be real, a satanic cult that masks itself as a summer camp for boys.
What do you mean?
For men boys.
Not the Grove where we go for brunch and movies?
No. And by the way, we're never going there again. We're going to Universal Studios only.
That's true.
So this Grove, these guys gallivant around in white robes and owl head masks.
Mind you, it's not a cult. It's a club.
It's a club.
Yes.
Cult.
No, it's a club.
We are now in the 4th season of the show, and Jack is still not matching up to guys like Johnny Carson, who is currently number 1. He is being nominated for Emmys. He's not getting any trophies. By the time September 1976 rolls around, Madeline has been diagnosed with lung cancer, and she's never smoked a cigarette in her life. She makes an appearance the next month where she is literally dying on Jack's show, and the ratings go up, but he still doesn't make it to the number 1 slot, and shortly after, Madeline dies.
Oh my God.
Yeah, it's pretty horrific. And we can like see the pain and stuff on Jack's face when he has her on the show, but like we know it's a ploy specifically to get more ratings. But it's interesting because he's like crying.
Well, he's legit saying goodbye to his wife on air.
Yeah, but it's just interesting because you like Jack immediately, right? Like you kind of like want to be on his side because you just have like a draw to him.
I mean, he's gorgeous. He's like, you know, it's like the perfect relationship, honestly, both of them. And then the way that he just brings fun into the show, and his character is like super lovable. Yeah. But
we already know that there's something darker at play because of what we already have established with The Grove.
The club.
Yeah, the club. So we kind of get the hint that the tears that he is shedding are probably just for the camera. Like it's crocodile tears. Which sucks because even, I mean, for the first half of the movie, like I really want to like Jack.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Well, you kind of have to.
Yeah. Like, but that like kind of goes along with the like talk show hosts that I grew up with. Like I really liked, and like you don't really know what's going on behind the camera.
Yeah,
right?
you really
like
don't.
What the hell's going on?
Yeah. And then come years later is like you find out that these people were wacky all along, and here we are fucking praising them. It's like
Britney Spears,
P. Diddy.
Oh God,
all that shit that's happening to him. But we'll talk about that because there's a reasoning as to why this is happening.
You had a P. Diddy thing to talk about.
Well, my thing was like, this coincides so much with what celebrities are going on with right now, because when we were younger, P. Diddy was blowing up. He was all over the radio. He had it made, right? And now today, all the shit that's being revealed, you know, that's coming up about Justin Bieber and P. Diddy and the you know, the fact that he abused his, you know, girlfriend, like, you know, hitting her and shit like that. Everything that's coming to light now is kind of like relevant to this movie, because it's kind of like if this celebrity made a deal with the devil a long time ago to have all this, you know, stardom, and now it's like the deal's over and this shit is coming to life now. Like, your deal's done, bro. Like, you're dead. Like, you're nothing no more. Like, this is it. You've reached your deal. And I believe like this happens to a lot of celebrities, like Wendy Williams. We've seen her fucking deteriorate right in front of us. And she talks so much shit about people. She did so many bad things, good things too, I guess. But Mainly what I know of her, because I used to watch her religiously, she was really mean, and now I feel like her deal is done as well, and like there's so many people, Britney Spears as well, like her deal's done. And it's like, we see these people, we feel bad for them, we created them, but it's like, your deal is up.
Someone didn't sacrifice enough babies.
Yeah, something happened.
Yeah, dude. That's like a fucking terrifying concept. Like, we need to watch Starry Eyes.
I mean, you're standing in line and you see like Jennifer Lopez and Ben Affleck, ending it again. And it's like, their shit's done. Like, your shit is just done. Like, J-Lo is losing fucking followers left and right because her last album sucked.
And we all saw Ben Affleck at the roast of Tom Brady.
Yeah, we did.
Fucking motor mouth. Mm-hmm. Oh my gosh. But yeah, like we were talking about this the other day, and it's like, dude, why can't everybody be like Nev Campbell?
Mm-hmm.
Why can't everybody be like our girl Mandy Moore?
Well, that's what we say now. But later in the future, it's like, turns out they're fucking wacky. And here we are like, I fucking praise this bitch, and like, turns out she didn't have shit together.
You will bite your tongue.
I will not.
He's doing it.
Like, no, we grew up with these people, and they're all fucked up, and we're all following them.
I know.
Why don't they just let us know they're all kooky to begin with?
And that's basically what this movie's about.
Yeah.
So Jack disappears, and he comes back, and this is after the death of Madeline. But he can't quite make the comeback that he wants, So he is staging fights with his guests, and he is drinking on stage. His ratings are dwindling. Nobody likes him the way that they used to. His contract is about to run out. And then we cut to Halloween, where we are in the movie, and it is Sweeps Week. And this is where the movie begins.
It's what week?
Sweeps Week.
Sweeps Week.
Oh. Ooh. He sounds like Gypsy. Okay, so just to be clear, and I guess this is just a question. This is the master tape that they're recording that was supposed to air, or this is the live TV event?
This is the live TV event. This happened that night, Halloween night. It was aired and viewed for everybody to watch. This is what it was made for.
Okay.
Because we wanted live ratings.
Okay. That's all. That was my only question.
Okay.
So in the opening, though, I did find this kind of chilling. Because remember, this is the late 70s. In the image of New York, the skyline, you see the World Trade Centers.
Oh.
That always gets me. And I know you've never been to New York. And I never visited New York when the World Trade Centers were there. But I did visit New York when Ground Zero was there, like when it was just like a vacant.
No, I didn't go to New York, but I'm a goddamn American.
Okay, girl.
Oh.
But we'll go. And I have been to New York since, within the last like 10 years. And it's just, it's so interesting and scary. And
I've never been, I've only seen them in movies. Of course, Home Alone is the only one that like literally sticks to me every time I think of the World Trade Center. That scene where he's on top of the roof and the helicopter pans, like, just see that big scene. That's the image that I think about every single time I think of the World Trade Center. I know that if I went there today, I would literally probably just burst in tears. I would just fucking probably fall down on my knees and be like,
it's an emotional thing.
Yeah.
It's an emotional thing. It's something you definitely have to see at once in your life.
There was, let's backtrace right now before we go further. But while all this was going on, there's a scene where we see Jax, he starts to fall, like his show is beginning to fail, and he's kind of like standing behind the scenes of the show, and he's kind of like his hand to his head. There's a TV next to him, that's projecting the show out, the audience, and they can see the view of Jack from the audience, into the back of the behind the scenes. There's a clip where you can see his wife's ghost like standing right behind him, which we don't see live on TV or on screen. Like, you literally have to see that little TV, and there's the image of the wife standing right beside him. That's like so creepy.
Yeah, I didn't notice that until you pointed it out.
Yeah, I was like, what is that? And like, if you see, there's like the little TV and there's a wife right behind him.
Yeah, I never would have noticed that had you not pointed it out.
This is at the beginning of the movie when they're talking about like Jack's failure and like his show is beginning to like go down and losing ratings again. And then they show that clip of him just like staring at the audience. And then they show the TV monitor like staring straight at him, and past him is his wife right behind him.
I love it.
So spooky.
It's so scary. No, it is. It is really scary.
But these are all things that we need to start acknowledging. That's why like looking at background behind the fucking cast sometimes is like, that's where you get all the hints.
Yeah. I feel like that might be the face that pops up later, that I was like slowing down. That because there's something that happens later on, like right before the big like finale. And there's like exorcist type of a little flash that happens on the screen, and I had to rewind it and pause it like 5 or 6 different times. And I was like, "Did you see it? Did you see it?" Yeah. So it's like there's a few blink and you miss it type of things that are definitely worth pointing out.
Yes.
So we have a Halloween lineup on tonight's show, and it looks like it's going to be super fun. And I really like this kind of setup. I love that it's happening on Halloween night. I love knowing now that it's live. I didn't realize that it was live. I totally missed that part. And I remember when I was a kid watching old school Halloween shows, and like specifically like in this time period. And even now, like even last Halloween, we watched stuff from this time period, like the Worst Witch and the Halloween that almost wasn't, and stuff like that. And it's a good feeling. Just being put back in this retro vintage.
And honestly, it's just that Night Owl's logo.
Yeah.
It's the big moon and the owl like right above it that just fucking does it. Like you don't even have to be in Halloween. It's just that Night Owl's logo that'll take you back.
Yeah. No, I agree. So we get a dopey intro like any other late night show you've ever seen, but this one's just got the 70s vibe.
It's bonkers.
Yeah.
Yeah, it really is.
I like that you use that word. Jack butters up the audience. He shows some vulnerability. He pulls the wife card, which again goes back to the whole crocodile tears thing that I was talking about. Yeah. And then we start with our lineup, and we begin with a self-proclaimed medium spiritualist named Christo. I think his name is Christo.
Yeah.
And this guy is a weirdo, but he's a lot of fun. And his entrance, he gets some snaky Arabian song that accompanies him as he comes out, and he's wearing he's dressed like Aladdin. I don't know how else to say this.
He's one of those psychics, but like back in the days, they would bring those people on the shows, like Jenny Jones and Ricky Lake shows. Like they would bring these psychic mediums that would be like calling people out from the audience. Like, there's a Larry. Does anybody know a Larry? And it's like, who doesn't fucking know Larry?
They still do this. The Drew Barrymore show has that Teresa Long Island medium psychic on still to this day with the big hair.
I love her though.
There are some people, you know who Teresa Caputo?
Yeah,
I think is her name.
I fucking love her.
My friend Crystal, I think had a little session with her, if I am not mistaken. Mm-hmm. There are people that really believe in this stuff, and there are people who are gifted. I don't not believe that. I
used to do that to people, like just be sitting there and be like, "Who's Linda?" And they're like, "Linda's my godmother. Like Linda's my aunt. Like why?" And I'm like, "I don't know. That name just blurred up and fogged up in my head."
I mean, I think that there are universal pulls, and I think that everything happens for a reason. I think it's a different conversation, but I also think that it's worth having in appropriate context. Mm-hmm. It's I don't know. It's iffy.
You just don't approach somebody at the market and be like, "Hey,
yeah, exactly," or do it.
Yeah, really. I was gonna say, or
just fucking do it. I mean, clearly this guy is fraudulent, though. Like he is just a fraud. But he is reading the minds of the audience members, and he's failing miserably, and then he's not failing. He ends up capturing the attention of a mother-daughter duo who have lost a loved one. He ends up sharing a spooky connection with them. It turns out they lost someone named Edmund who had killed themselves. Mm-hmm. Yeah,
so at this point, we're like, this guy's legit.
Yeah, we find out that he's actually a real psychic. And all the audience members are oohing and eyeing. And even we were like, oh, shit. Okay, well, Here we are. And at this point, we're like 20 minutes in. And I'm still like, wait, this is supposed to be the scariest movie of the year. Like, it's getting all this hype. Like, we're going to save the devil stuff for probably the last. Okay, that's fine. But I hope we're gonna get something scarier than this.
It does take a while to get there, and then this whole Christelle thing does take a longer while even, to start to even get to Lily. It just takes a fucking while.
Yeah, and in the theaters, this felt longer. Mm-hmm. I was like, fuck, dude. Like, it's fine and it's okay, but like, I was like, if this is it, like, okay.
It honestly feels like in the beginning you're watching a documentary about late night shows from the 70s, and you're like, what the fuck is going on? Like, what am I watching?
Yeah, but I did appreciate that. he did know a lot of details about how he did kill himself and that it was years ago, but it felt like today or yesterday and all that stuff. Yeah. And I love that when he is done with it and Jack is announcing all of his future tour dates and stuff, all the tour dates are at like hotels.
Yeah, really.
Like the Ramada Inn.
That's cute.
In shitty places. But then things start getting really intense, and then he starts to get like crazy frequencies, and his eyes turn white and roll into the back of his head. And this part could have been super silly, but it was executed really well. Yeah. Like it was pretty effective. And he's asking for someone to accept a message from someone named Minnie. And someone has to accept it, like in order for him to move on. And he's like clenching his temples, and he's me on the Harry Potter ride.
Yeah, seriously, like here it is.
So I do like the concept of, in order for him to like get comfortable and move on from this, someone has to accept the message. But nobody accepts the message, and the electricity goes bonkers, and he says the spirit is asking for an unmarried man with a wedding ring, and then he faints and the spirit disappears, and Jack has to go for a commercial break.
Yep.
I love
it.
Oh, go ahead.
I was going to say, which we love.
Oh, yeah.
The commercial breaks.
The Be Right Back ads are one of my favorite parts of this movie.
The music that plays along with that. Yeah, it's fucking elevator music. Oh, so good.
And a lot of them have like the Halloween tinges.
Yeah.
You know, it's great.
Oh, those little vibey.
Yeah. So cool. So we find out that Jack thinks that this is staged by his producer, who thinks it's being staged by Jack. So that's when we get like the first like, oh, okay, like this is actually happening. And then we find out that there are high profile execs in the front row, and so there's a lot more pressure on Jack now.
Yeah.
Christoph is very nervous. He's sweaty and uncomfortable, again, like Stanley on the Harry Potter ride.
Honestly, his face starts changing and like his skin starts getting more gray.
Yeah, he's pale.
Yeah, like
and he's like a tan Persian looking dude. Yeah, he ends up losing a lot of color.
Yeah.
And when we get back from the commercial, we introduce Jack's second guest, Carmichael Haig, who I fucking hate.
Yeah.
Fucking hate this dude. And
this guy you totally fucking hate right from the beginning.
But dude, he is a great actor. Goddamn, he is so good at being hated. I just can't stand this guy. He's so good.
Yeah, honestly, if you didn't hate him, he's not doing his job.
100%. And he has been in other films, nothing huge, I suppose. I mean, he was in a couple of the Matrix movies.
Yeah.
He was in Superman Returns. Nothing I've seen.
And he's invited on the show as our skeptic and former magician.
I hope that he's gay, because I was getting the gay vibe out of his character. And I don't know if you were getting any gay vibes from him.
Not really.
But no, he's married to a woman.
Yeah.
I'm reading that right now. I was getting like homo vibes.
No, it looks like he wears leather and picks up boys and takes them to the hotels every single night.
Drugs those boys. So yeah,
he has a Twitter account.
Oh, 100%. So an Ashley Madison account.
Ew.
We watched that documentary. Oh my God. Oh, I think we talked about that.
Yeah, we did.
Okay. So Carmichael is a reformed psychic magician who was like the best of the best. And he is now someone who debunks people like Christo. What is his name?
Christo.
Oh my God, I don't know how to say it. Whatever. So
I would say Christo.
Christo. I think it's Christo. So he is part of like a team that is debunking people like the Warrens. He is going to places like Amityville and confirming that they're not haunted.
And
like,
they do show clips of the Warrens and stuff like that.
He doesn't like these people. He is here to really make those who are doing this kind of job, he's here to make you feel bad about it.
Remember, because he is a former magician, he thinks he knows all the tricks of the trade, so he knows that there is no real thing.
And granted, he does. He knows a lot. So everything that's happening around him, like he can prove what's happening to a degree. Also, Carmichael is notorious for being the first ever to perform a group hypnosis, I guess. Is that what I got?
Yeah.
Okay, so this guy is a smug prick, and he also has a check that is blank written for $100,000 to the person that can prove to him that they are capable of performing actual magic.
Yeah.
Right?
Or something.
Something along those lines. Or like demonic infestation. Get ready to write that motherfucking check.
Something ghostly.
Bitch. Okay, so meanwhile, Christau is showing signs of falling away.
Yeah.
I guess is the easiest way to put it. I do love the line where he says to Christau, where Carmichael says to Christau, even a broken clock is right twice a day.
That is so true, though.
It's profound as fuck.
Isn't that crazy? That was fucking mind-blowing, actually, when he said that line and I was in the theater. I was like, holy fuck.
I'm going to start using that on my customers.
Yeah. Watch
So,
out, baby.
Yeah. Carmichael tells Christau he's a liar, and Christau tries to leave the stage, but not before throwing water in his face like the queen that he is. And Daniel admits that Daniel? Oh my god, I meant Jack. The actor's name is Daniel, excuse me. Jack admits that the last reading could have been meant for him, as Minnie was what, Alex?
The name he used to use for his wife, Madeline.
You sound so sexy.
Minnie. And I think because back in the days, like in the 50s and like, you know, those days, they would actually use Minnie as like a, you know, cute, sweet name for their
baby
mates, little chicks, girls, babes.
Yeah, very private nickname.
Yeah.
Jack then reveals that he is still wearing his wedding ring and he's unmarried, obviously. Of course, Carmichael is more than skeptical. And also, this is all being televised. These fuckers.
Yeah.
Like, this is just...
He wants the more shock, the more rating.
I know, what a cunt. So Carmichael starts to write a check out to Christau, who then pukes up black sludgy tar all over the stage and the camera before we cut to another commercial break. And as nasty as this is, we just take Christau off the stage back to his dressing room.
You know what?
Like and go on with the show.
Yeah, but the way he throws up reminded me of the Dilophosaurus from Jurassic Park. Like it even comes towards the TV when he's in the Jeep. I was like, holy fuck, that's been done.
That was the scariest part of Jurassic Park for me.
Yeah.
When I was a kid. Oh my God. Were you expecting more from this? From this part? Or were you just like here for it? Because
not yet. So I was here for it.
Even at this point, I was like, come on. Like, scariest movie of the year. I know it's only March. Scariest movie of the year. Come on. And we hadn't seen The First Omen yet.
Yeah, no.
Even now, I still like The First Omen better than any of the Immaculate, whatever, any of those movies that we've seen out of this bunch. The First Omen, like, reigns supreme for me.
Yeah.
But I still was fine with it. And the more that we watch this movie, I appreciate it more, but I was a little underwhelmed because I wanted more.
When you're sitting in the theater, you know, and it's already like going close to the first hour, and honestly, you haven't seen anything but throw up. That looks like a Dilophosaurus. Whatever the fuck is Dilophosaurus.
You said it great the first
Dilophosaurus. It kind of like starts getting like, okay, what is happening? Like, what? This is it.
And then we have weird granny pants to our left, just cackling.
Yeah.
She's like, we're like, what the fuck?
And this is the woman sitting in the theater.
Yeah. Oh yeah, not Gypsy. Gypsy's asleep.
No.
Okay, so Carmichael accosts Jack about his ongoings with the Grove, aka the Gay Men's Club. Again, I'm getting the idea that Carmichael's gay.
It's the outfit.
I just wish he's snapping at the fucking assistant girl. Yeah. He's like, you go get my blue blazer from my dressing room. Shut up. Oh, and he says something. He's like, oh, I'm really interested in what's going on with the Grove, Jack. And he says something. I can't remember what it is, but he says something that's really fucking homo.
Really?
Ugh, God, I'll have to go back and look.
I'm too busy checking out the background. I'm like, what?
You're so funny. I'm just too busy looking at his mustache, which looks frighteningly similar to yours.
When I do my mustache. I really liked his mustache, though.
You took it off?
I showered earlier, so I just didn't apply it.
He's been looking like a Disney villain lately. I love it.
Looks so pretty like... Oh. The devil needs blue.
Oh, my little Taylor.
See my Taylor.
Okay. Before we go to the next segment, we see that June, played by Laura Gordon, and who is also one of the other guests, has arrived, and she and Jack exchange a glance before he heads back to the stage. It turns out Christau is getting medical treatment backstage. Carmichael calls it spouting, which is controlled regurgitation in the world of psychics, I guess.
I used to control regurgitate back when I was drinking.
I was not a thrower-upper.
Just to make more room.
The first time I did ecstasy, I was told to drink a bunch of shots of gin.
Ew.
And then...
Isn't that gonna, like, dry you up like a fucking...
Well, I threw up like a fucking psychopath, and the girl next to me was like, I don't know why I told you to drink all that gin. And I was like, what?
That's disgusting.
That was the last time I threw up really violently, and that was when I was 20.
Gross.
Okay, now for the guest that we've been waiting for, June Ross Mitchell.
Mm-hmm.
But not her. Her subject, Lily.
The sole survivor of a mass suicide.
Yeah, played by Ingrid Torelli. Is that what you said? Is it Ingrid Torelli?
Mm-hmm.
Little cutie.
That, and also this is when the movie like refreshes itself. So as soon as like you see Ingrid come out as like Lily, you know, like I fucking like I refreshed myself on my seat. I took a breath. I was like, okay, my gosh, this girl is fucking sunshine. I love it.
Completely different movie.
Mm-hmm.
Completely different film. Better movie.
Yeah.
Like so what we had up until this point is fine. It's probably like a 3-star movie, but her entrance bumps it up to at least a 3.5.
Absolutely.
At least a 3.5. And then what happens later?
Mm-hmm.
Automatic 4-star film. Like, spoiler.
She comes out, you guys, and like she's fucking glaring at the screen or like staring straight at you. You know, like we're sitting in a theater and like she was staring straight at Stanley. She was staring straight at me. She's staring straight at that woman next to us. Like she's fucking making eye contact with every single person in the audience, and you fucking feel it. You're like, there's a demon in that child.
Yes. And also, I didn't know that Lily was the daughter of this Satanist, because her last name is Diabo. And so that means that she's the daughter of...
She was given to her, so anybody that's given to the Diablo's cult or like the... she is basically a Satan worshiper because she was given to the Satanist at birth. So this is how you become a Satanist. You're just given to them. So you're not made, you're not, you know, like you don't make it by choice. You were given by birth, and this is who you are now. So Lily is a Satanist herself. It's all she knows.
Okay, I see.
Mm-hmm.
So we get a pre-produced intro to Lily and where she came from, which is a cult where she was severely abused by a man named Monsieur Diabo.
Yes. So let's see. The Grove is a club. Diabo is a cult, and this is Lily's side of the story. So not to be confused with the Grove and the cult of Diabo.
And so here at the cult of Diabo, there are kids being bred for the sole purpose of human sacrifice under his care. And there is a demon named Abraxas who will take over anyone who bears witness.
Michelle remembers.
That's funny because it's literally the same fucking story, you guys. Mm-hmm. Like, that's why when I was watching that documentary, I was like, guys.
It's incredible.
Did Late Night with the Devil read that book? Like, did those writers read that book at all? Like, they had to have.
Like, might as well have taken the clips from Michelle Remembers or the documentary and placed them in place for Lily's.
A 3-day standoff takes place, and everyone under the roof douses themselves in flames and takes their own lives to sacrifice themselves to the demon. The only one who lives is Lily, who then goes under the care of a psychologist and paranormal researcher, who is June. We get taped recordings of a possessed Lily. Alex loves the shit, so just... Tell us about this.
I forgot to mention, hold on. When Lily first comes out, like when we first meet Lily, and she steps out from behind the scenes, right? And she's like meeting the audience and she's coming toward the camera. The TV glitches. Like, I don't know if you saw that.
I
like,
have that in my notes.
The TV like literally glitches. So we know like, oh, this bitch got electricity.
Immediately. She got the spark.
Yeah, honestly, like she steps out, you see the TV glitch and it's like, oh, okay, good. It's getting good. And I'm sorry. Okay, where were we?
No, that was literally my next note, Alex.
Oh. Really?
It says...
Stop. Are you serious?
And then it says, immediately there are glitches in the cameras that are filming.
Oh, yeah. That's what it is. Lily comes out and she's like, the way she remembers Jack, you know, like...
Yeah, she already knows Jack, which is weird because they've never met.
And us as the audience, like, we're just like, you know, do they know each other? But no, like, she's being very, you know, respectful. And, you know, she's a guest.
She's very polite.
Yeah.
And she seems very educated, especially with everything that she's been through. And right off the bat, though, we get weird behavior from her. Mm-hmm. Like Alex is saying, she's looking directly at the camera. She like curtsies.
Yeah.
And she has like this very spacey, bizarre look in her eyes. And she is kind of like smirking. And it feels like she knows a little bit more than she should.
It's super weird, though, because it's like, it's Lily, right? It's not the demon yet, because we meet him later. But it's Lily, but she's still looking at us like she's not okay, like she's not all there, but she knows more than what she should about every single person in that studio.
Oh,
it's so weird because she has like this gleam in her eye where she's just like, she knows everything.
Yeah, and she's only 13.
Mm-hmm.
Like she's playing a 13-year-old, this actress.
Yeah.
I don't know. I want to know how old she actually is. I feel like she's probably like 17 or 18. She tells Jack that he's going to be famous very soon, which is a red flag for us.
Yeah.
And then there's a part where she turns to Jack as he's passing her, and in a different voice, which I'm pretty sure it's his wife's voice, his dead wife's voice, she says, "Don't I look pretty, Jack?"
Yeah, when they're about to go to commercial, and Jack walks right by her, and she asks that question with Madeline's voice, and only Jack like catches it. They're like these very like little awkward. Did anybody else catch that moments between Jack and Lily?
They're very subtle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But he's whispering shit to Jack that, you know, Jack knows.
And June is aware that Lily has been acting strangely as of late, and she pulls Jack aside before they're about to go on the air and tells him, hey, like, we should not do this. She's been acting erratic. It's unpredictable what she's been doing, and I'm not sure if this is a good idea. And Jack is like, look, it's going to be fine. And we should also point out that they're probably fucking.
Yeah.
Jack and June, I keep wanting to call her Jill. Jack and June are probably in a relationship. Of sorts.
It's no secret. I mean, they let us know, you know, like Jack goes and kind of like holds her in a way that only passion, you know, can hold.
I also don't think that the writing in this middle part is all that great. Like, I don't think that the writing between these two characters specifically is like 10-star writing.
It's a little scattered as well because we're not specifically focused on them. There's so much stuff going on around the scene as we're paying attention to their conversation at a distance.
There's a lot of pacing issues. Like, I honestly don't care about the producers who are watching in the wings or from the front audience, like, especially since we don't get anything else from that storyline. Like, we start talking about it, but we don't dig any further. Like, don't talk about it. I don't fucking care.
Yeah.
But I do like that Gus interjects every now and then, and he's like, hey, like, other people are talking. We think this is kind of weird. Like, I like that the crew is catching on, and they are hearing that, oh, hey, Christelle isn't doing well. We know what's going on. Like, I like that everybody is getting the idea that there is something going wrong.
There's some stress going on.
Also, there is Leo Fisk, who is the producer, and then Jack is the name of our lead actor. And Jack Fisk is the name of a production designer, I'm pretty sure. And that is the husband of Sissy Spacek, who is obviously the actress who played Carrie. She is...
We don't even have to explain the end.
Yeah, and this is a very good prelude into our finale eventually. But I don't know if that was on purpose or not, but I thought that was a little cute reference that at least I caught.
No, that's amazing.
So yeah, we learn Christelle died of a puking death. He puked to death.
Okay, and here we go. This is the part where we spoil it for you guys. So the death of Christelle, to what I understand, would have been Jack's re-sacrifice in order to give this show the ratings that it needed. He brought Christelle into the show. He brought this demon, you know, the demon that Lily has into the show, and that happens to know, you know, about Jack's past. And I believe that in order for Jack to have this show to have been, to have given the ratings that he wanted for that night, he had to sacrifice something else again. And I think that this Christo's death is literally another re-sacrifice.
Well, I guess.
And that's just my theory. Like,
that could be all of the guests.
It could be all the guests, but I think it would only take one. Like,
I think it's a domino
sacrifice.
effect.
Like,
I think it's a domino effect.
One would be his wife. One is new just to get the ratings. Like, it's never going to be enough. He's never going to get what he wants, basically.
Well, fame, money, none of that's going to buy you happiness. I think that's the moral of most of these kinds of stories, is that you can't buy happiness, and right?
No, absolutely.
I think,
Like, how are you going to be happy with your show? You don't have your partner next to you no more.
Yeah. Oh, we'll get there. So during the break, Carmichael is in the audience questioning the two women that Christelle had confronted about their dead loved one.
Brother.
Yeah.
Son.
And they confirm that, yes, the woman that helped Christophe off the stage during his black puke attack had asked them a bunch of questions about Edmund, their dead son / brother. So the plot thickens in that respect, because that could definitely mean that he was fraudulent, because his woman partner had been asking questions about their dead person, you know? So,
And
dot.
This is why I feel like that the demon attacked Christelle, like now.
Because he's a fake.
Because he's like vulnerable to all that death stuff and fake, you know, like fraud, but like kind of like what happened to Whoopi Goldberg in Ghost. Like she was fucking around so much that it actually happened to her.
Oh, good one. I didn't even think about that. Also, remember how in this part he loses his accent?
Yeah. Yeah. Like he starts speaking English.
Yeah. He was like, wait, what?
We're like, oh,
yes. It's
you're not pale.
It's not C.
We're like, you're not pale. You were American all along.
Yeah. Okay, so June goes into detail about the years she spent with Lily and the demon within her, and they have named the demon Mr. Wriggles. What do you think about the name?
It's kind of like, I don't understand why, but it kind of makes sense, right? Like it couldn't have been Wiggles.
I mean, it could have been Wiggles because he wiggles.
But it couldn't have.
But if you wriggle, you're wriggling your way in.
Yeah, you're kind of like wriggling your way in. So it just makes a lot of sense. It's kind of like it giggles, you know, because it giggles a lot. And it's like, it's kind of weird. So it fits.
I think that these demons always have funny little names like Pazazu and Abraxas.
I feel like they all have like Grinch fingers.
Sheriff.
Yeah. Sheriff. Oh, gosh. Yeah. That's our dog.
Just when they start talking about Mr. Wriggles, things start to go a little awry on the stage. Carmichael blames the feedback from one of the mics, but Lily is persistent that it's Mr. Wriggles.
Oh, yeah. So the music during that sequence, you were talking about that little sound machine that uses like electricity around you. So that's the one that I was telling you that, what's her name? Frances?
Oh, Frances Conroy.
Yeah, Conroy from American Horror Story during the... cult, or what is it, the coven she plays that instrument. Yeah, it's pretty dope.
Oh yeah, no, that we need to get one of those.
I already have one.
Oh,
let's do it. Yeah.
Oh, I thought you were being serious. I guess you could say that this next part is probably one of the biggest set pieces of the movie. Well, the first big set piece of the movie. They are going to put Lily in restraints, and they're going to put her in a chair, and they're going to demonstrate a possession, basically. And at this point, Jack just wants to save his show. And Gus reveals also that he knows that Christophe is dead, and that the entire crew knows, and people are threatening to walk off. And then we get the possession demonstration set piece, and June gets Dr. Wriggles to make an appearance, and although it is short-lived and not nearly exactly what I wanted, it's pretty perfect in its own right.
Yeah.
We've seen it before. Like, we've seen this kind of segment in a horror film, especially a possession movie, a million times.
Yeah.
But this girl's performance, it sells it. Sells it completely. And the writing is really good. And she says some pretty horrific shit. And we get the notion that this devil demon is really after Jack.
Yeah.
That we...
there's some history there.
We met at one point amongst the trees. So we go back to like the Grove, the club, the gay club.
Because what is the doctor? June says something to her, like, what is your plan, or what are you here for, or some shit like that? And then she's like, he's here, isn't he? And then she turns to Jack and she's like, hello, Jack.
Yeah. Oh, it's good. Like, this whole part is really good. Like, she ends up levitating. There's like bone cracking noises. It's like classic fucking possession stuff.
This is probably the most horrifying segment in the whole movie. No, maybe not even yet, but yeah, it pretty much is. The introduction to Mr. Wriggles is pretty fucking scary.
It's good, yeah. And the crew reactions are hilarious. They're all dumbfounded. And still, when it's over, Carmichael still believes that it's fake. And this is so frustrating. Lily and June are traumatized afterward, and Jack doesn't care. He actually wants this to become a routinely thing, bringing them back and like conjuring up this demon on his show. And Lily overhears this, and she also overhears Jack saying that he wants June to be a part of it, and this kind of makes Lily jealous.
Yeah.
Then we get this interesting part where Carmichael, who has no belief in this, he's here to debunk all this shit. He thinks that June has hypnotized Lily and also hypnotized the entire audience into possessing her on stage, which apparently is a thing. And we already know that Carmichael is responsible for a whole group hypnosis thing in the past, and that this is something he's famous for. So he does this to Gus. He hypnotizes Gus into thinking that there are worms crawling out of his stomach. He rips open his stomach. It's really graphic and gross, and the entire audience thinks that this is what they're seeing. We think that this is what we're seeing. All these worms.
He did end up hypnotizing some audience members and as well as some folks watching from home.
Yeah, and only one or two people in the audience say that they didn't see it, but Jack sees it, June sees it. We're not clear if Lily sees it. She thinks that Gus is acting kind of funny and she's laughing, but she never says yes or no on whether or not she saw him pulling worms out of his stomach or his eyeball. Like his eye socket like pops out. It's really gruesome.
Yeah.
I didn't remember it being so fucking bloody.
It really is.
But it's gory as fuck.
Yeah.
And there's one point where Carmichael is like, oh God, stop. I didn't expect it to be like this. And you think that the trick is backfiring on him, right?
Yeah.
Like you think that it's going to backfire. And then he like really cockily ends it. And then everything is fine.
He snaps his fingers first and it doesn't end. And he's like, holy shit, like it's not ending. So he gets up from his chair and he's like backing up from Gus, and he's like, I just don't know how to stop it. And finally he says, what did he say? At the end,
dreamer be here.
Yeah, dreamer be here. And that's how Gus snaps out of it.
It's so wild.
And Gus literally, his stomach is perfectly fine. Nothing ever happened. There was no dick that came out of his eye.
It's a giant dick with teeth.
Yeah.
It looks like that toy from Silent Night, Deadly Night Part 5. Remember that larva?
Yeah, we couldn't fucking think about
Larry the larva. Plug.
It seriously.
Go listen to our Silent Night, Deadly Night 5 episode.
Larry the larva.
It's so funny. Also, this Late Night with the Devil episode, not our episode, but this show, the Night Owl show, should have ended like 20 minutes ago.
Really?
Like, this show is still on. Yeah. Like, who is still watching this? The producers? There's no way these producers are still allowing the show to go on. Oh, I did think that Carmichael was not going to be able to stop the trick.
Yeah, me too. And I'm like, oh, the movie's already unfolding so fast.
And I still fucking hate this guy, but I love to hate him so much. After the last watch, I think that he might be one of my favorite characters in the movie.
Honestly, like he's doing his fucking job. He's doing it well. So,
Mug motherfucker.
Yeah. Everything that comes out of his mouth. And then Lily even says to him, why must you be so condescending, Mr. Hyde?
Yeah, she is so coy at not liking him. And I love that.
And it's scarier because you don't want to fuck with Lily.
No. And we don't know that yet.
Yeah, no.
So we play the tape back and find out that, in fact, Gus was not pulling the worms out of his stomach, that Carmichael did hypnotize him and us. Lily suggests that they play the tape back further so they can see that June did not hypnotize her. And the tape doesn't lie.
Yeah.
But we also get a glimpse of Madeline's spirit within the tape. And then this is when all hell breaks loose. Literally. And this is not only where the movie should have ended, but it's fucking insane. Like, okay, Alex, what happens?
This is it, right? Like, this is where the movie gets all crazy.
This is your big Carrie moment, but like times 1,000, but in like a minute time span.
Yeah, Lily starts just fucking being this electrical force that kind of takes over the studio and just starts fucking... She gives you Carrie all over again, and she's just fucking shredding through everybody in the audience, all the producers, her doctor herself. She's attacking everybody's dying here. And the best part to me, the death that happened was when Gus was trying to, he has his rosary like straight to her and he's like, may the power of Christ compels you. Lily just fucking snapped his neck, like just fucking turns it to his back and he just falls over. It's fucking great.
Oh my God. Go ahead.
No, sorry. Go ahead.
No. Keep going.
Yeah. So she's fucking going through everybody. She gets to the doctor, which her doctor's like, Lily, to me, and she has her necklace to her because this is how she gets Lily to come back to her, pointing the necklace at Lily. And she's like, Lily, back to me. And Lily just fucking grabs the necklace, pulls the necklace, like she's kind of like choking her from the back.
Telekinetically.
Yes. The doctor starts floating. She's off the ground and just slices her fucking neck with the same necklace and falls down to the ground. Jack is watching this from the distance, trying to get behind the stage, trying to open the door to get himself behind the stage, and it's not happening. Everybody's running everywhere. Fucking her head starts to split, right?
Even further, because her head is already split.
Oh, yeah. So, yeah. And she's just, her eyes are glowing like fire. She's fucking the 50-foot woman at this point, just shooting lasers at everybody.
But really not 50 feet tall.
No, not 50 feet tall, but she's amazing. What else happens?
Oh my gosh. So Carmichael is on his knees, like literally offering his soul to her. He's like, I will do all your evil bidding. Please accept my soul. I will do all your unholy work. Like he's offering his soul to her.
Yeah.
And he then pulls out his check. And there's a part earlier in the movie where they're talking about the name of the demon, Abraxas.
The cult leader.
Yeah. And then, when Carmichael is like, oh, and you know where that came from, what that word is derived from. And then Lily says, yeah, abracadabra.
Abracadabra.
And then right at this part, when he waves the check out in front of her, it's made out to $100,000, by the way.
He's giving it to Lily, like, please, demon, take my check.
Demonic Lily, and her demonic voice says, abracadabra, and then the check like just
vaporizes,
it incinerates into like ashes, and then he just like combusts. He just starts to like erupt into flames in front of her, and it's so fucking cool.
Yeah, visually it's fucking badass. This is the death that he fucking needed, and thank you so much, Lily. Like,
I literally wrote holy fucking shit in my notes.
She's not forgiving nobody, like, at this point.
I fucking loved it. This was like this is like what I was waiting for the entire movie. I don't want to compare this to Immaculate. And again, Immaculate's not a bad movie, but the last 10, 15 minutes of Immaculate, we had talked about this, were so fucking rad.
Yeah.
So fucking good. And the last, well, we'll talk about the last like 5 minutes of this movie, but right before this whole last like 10 minutes of this movie, like right up to this point, are so solid.
It's fucking crazy. Like, so everything is happening. And there's even like a glimpse that happens in the TV that Stanley actually caught, and we paused it and we stopped it. Is this when it's happening? Like, it's rolling off, and then like
it's like right before she goes crazy.
We see a glimpse happen, and you think it's the wife, right?
I think it could be the demon.
I think this is where we actually physically see Mr. Wriggles.
Yeah.
Like, he actually comes out of Lily, because it's right before this whole entire thing happens. Lily's still sitting in the chair, and then the TV screen flashes, and we see like Mr. Wriggles, like, kind of like screaming towards the sky.
Yeah.
And it's just the flash of his head or in his chest. And then it goes back to Lily, and she's already standing in the stage and just fucking going off on everybody.
Blink and you miss it.
Yeah. Yeah, really. Blink and you miss it.
So mostly everybody's dead. Jack is trying to escape, and the TV camera zooms in on our fiery girl and basically cuts to static. And then we get an advertisement that says stay tuned for more or whatever. And then we're with Jack as he is sent through stages of his own personal hell. Mm-hmm. He's confronted by demons from his past, including but not limited to his dead wife. And we'll get more on her in a minute.
Yeah.
But we're given the implication and then like actual confirmation that he sold his wife's soul for the sake of gaining fame and the show's climbing success. Mm-hmm. We get like this weird scene where he's bowing down to audience members and men of the group, the Grove Cult.
Yeah. If we focus on the people which you say that are audience members that are approaching Jack during the scene, in reality, these are all club members that are in his audience, and they're not audience members that are approaching this. They're in the club, and this is why they're dressed like skeletons and devils, because they're just club members that happen to be in the show at that night, supporting the show because they want the show to be good, and they're there to watch Jack. And this is why I say, like, I think Christo was a sacrifice, but at the end of the day, Lily kills every single person on stage, right? We learned that. And if you think about it, everybody is kind of doing what Jack is doing, because the doctor's doing it to Lily as grabbing her as a subject and convincing her and hypnotizing her, as everybody thinks, to write this book that she was working on with Lily in order to make money off of Lily. And then we have Christo that's over here making money off of people that he thinks, like, you know, through psychic medium connections, he's dealing with dead people and he's taking people's money for it. And then we have Hayek, who's doing the same fucking thing, you know, talking about these people that he doesn't think are real, making money off of them. And then we go to Jack and so on and so on. Everybody's basically doing the same fucking dirty deed. And Lily knows this as a demon. So it kind of feels like they all made the same deal, with the devil, and audience members are the club members. If you think about it, at the end of the scene where Jack is being approached by this owl, all the same members that are dressed in the audience are in that club at that same scene. And so it's telling us like, holy shit, they're not audience members. These were all club members to begin with.
I did not get that.
Yeah.
That's so fucking funny.
Yeah. And I learned it. That's why when we were watching that scene earlier, I was like, holy shit. Because I thought the same thing the first time I watched it. I thought they were audience members.
Why didn't you say that? You literally said, is that Frankenstein?
I did. I was like, because there's one that's dressed as Frankenstein. I was like, what the hell? Is that Frankenstein?
You said nothing to... You saved it for this, you dog. You literally were like...
I love my facts.
Is that Frankenstein? And then he said nothing else, you guys.
So yeah, we focused on it. There's a devil, and then there's a skeleton that we're mostly focused on. But that's literally like, they're all club members.
You fucker. That's so good.
It's Halloween night. They're all dressed up. They're not going to be dressed up in suits.
No wonder that... oh my God, that's so good. Didn't even catch it.
Yeah.
Didn't even fucking catch it. Oh my God. So yeah, he's bowing down to his brothers, I guess. Mm-hmm. And then we end up at the bedside of a dying Madeline, who tells him that, yeah, he had to sacrifice her. And then she begs him to kill her again, which he does with the sword knife thing that was part of the remaining artifacts that had been pulled from the house that had burned, that Lily was saved from.
Yes.
And then we find out that Jack is still on the stage, and he has actually stabbed Lily. Not his wife, and he is surrounded by the dead bodies. Lily's face is actually not split open, so I'm not sure entirely what actually was real and what wasn't. If he had been hypnotized, if there was something else that had happened, if any of this was a hallucination. There's a lot of stuff open for negotiation within your own imagination, I guess. It's open-ended. There's a lot up for debate, I think. And that's fine. I think that's fine. And I was telling you as it was going, I was like, fuck, I really didn't need this additional 5 minutes. I could have done without it. We could have ended right when the movie zoomed in on her face and we got that static. Yeah. But now when you break it down like that, when you slash it up and bleed it out, baby, that makes it so much better for me. Yeah. Knowing that the audience members could potentially have been Grove members, knowing that this all was for sacrificial purposes, knowing that he is number one because he did sign a contract
because
again to renew, like, oh, sweep, you just did it, you're number one. Like, it all makes sense now.
You had mentioned earlier that there was producers and what was it that were sitting at the front watching the show, for the ratings, and this is who they were. They're club members, like watching Jack's success.
That's wild.
And also when he kills Lily and the camera pans out after like this whole, when he kills his wife, he stabs the wife in the stomach, and then the camera pans out and he's like literally holding Lily on the stage, and the knife is inside of Lily. Her head is still intact. Everybody is kind of dead the way that we saw Lily killed him, but we really don't know at this moment if that's exactly what happened or not. Meaning that I think that when you had mentioned earlier, this is when the movie should have ended. I believe that this is when they all kind of crossed over. And the show kept going, but in Hell's time, kind of.
Oh, okay.
So the show's going on in Hell's time already. There's no control already. What happens is going to happen. I feel like, yes, Jack was hypnotized right there, and so were we. And like, this is what happens during our hypnotism. In reality, what we saw wasn't what happened, but like at the end of the day, it was what happened. But Lily was never really like possessed. It was really just the doctor telling her that she was sick and us believing the doctor because she wanted to make this fucking book.
Michelle remembers. Fuck, dude. Have you ever been hypnotized?
No.
Neither have I.
No, I don't.
Wait, how do you know?
Because I've never volunteered to be hypnotized, but I remember back in Six Flags at Magic Mountain, back in the days, they used to have this theater right by the entrance of the park, and there was a hypnotized show that would call audience members down. And I remember every single time that I would watch it, I was like, these people know each other. There is no fucking way that he's going to act like a chicken when he snaps his fingers, or like that whole basic, you're going to be a chicken.
Okay, guys, that was Late Night with the Devil. There you have it.
God damn.
Yeah.
Don't make deals.
Just be happy. With what you have. Be happy with your dogs. Be happy with your little life.
Once you make that deal and you have more, you're just going to want more. You're just going to want more and more and more.
And you're going to be P. Diddy.
Just be crazy and dance in your living room like Britney.
Yeah, see, When your deal expires, lock yourself up in your Calabasas mansion and just post on Instagram.
Yeah, and Stanley's petitioning for her to dance in a different room in her house.
Yeah, girl, get out of your dining room.
Let's go.
Come on, move to your bathroom. Do something.
Can't be cleaning that damn floor over and over, Brittany.
And change your crop top too, baby. Come on.
Yeah.
I know you got clothes.
More ass shots.
She just posted a great ass shot.
When she was at the beach.
Flopping around. Like
I didn't understand that flop. It was kind of possessive itself.
She was straight up
Mr. Wriggles.
humping the ocean.
Almost. She was Mr. Wriggles.
Someone was like, she just gave the beach crabs.
Oh my gosh.
And
that's
I was
hilarious.
like, you back off, you fucker. Alex, what would you give Late Night with the Devil on our gory gaydar?
Fucking 10 out of 10.
Oh my god, it's on a
this
scale
one.
of 5.
Fucking 5 out of 5.
Okay, I like that. You give it a 10.
I give it a 10.
Fuck
Honest
it.
to God, like I can watch this movie over and over. It's so good.
Alex can watch paint dry over and over.
I can. It's so good.
And he can watch it at 3 a.m.
It's the best time to watch a movie that freaks you out. What was the last time I said that would freak me out at 3 a.m.?
It's so funny. You said that last night.
Oh.
And I was like, Alex, you would never be awake at 3 a.m.
But if I was
watching a movie.
But
And
if I
he
was.
said, it was Inferno. He was like, that's the movie that I would be watching at 3 a.m. and it would just
We didn't
scare
talk
me.
about watching Inferno. That fucking movie's a nightmare.
And I had watched it once, and I was like, it's good. You should watch it. And then I fell asleep, and he stayed up through the entire thing.
Yeah, it was fucking thrilling, dude. I want that house or that building.
I'm trying to introduce Alex to Argento movies.
Fucking crazy,
And he was
dude.
like, I've seen Suspiria, and then he actually had seen the Suspiria remake. And I was like, you fucker. Like,
I'm so late.
No, he needs to. Now we need to watch the original Suspiria.
Honestly, Inferno is probably one of the fucking best movies that I've ever seen in Italian horror like that, because the lighting, the way that everything's made, and fucking clips that do not make sense for shit. Like, I was telling you that there was like one scene where like he's walking through this basement thing, and like there's this clip of a cat just biting a mouse, and like you don't see like you just see it chopped to half with a mouse, and it's a real mouse, and you see the guts just pop out, and that's it. Like there's nothing else. It just fucking moves from that scene to the next scene.
Welcome to the weird ass world.
There's a room where like
Dario Argento.
the walls are like caves, and the floor's like glossy black, and he just runs through it like a hallway. Nothing even happens. Like, what the fuck was the point of that?
It's so fucking weird.
Yeah.
I would give this on my gory gaydar a 4.5. And the only reason it's not a perfect movie is because of the pacing issues that it has. And there's some dialogue quibble that I think could have been fixed. I think that it could have shaved off a few minutes. And I know that I said that it makes sense now with the way that you made it make sense.
Mm-hmm.
But there's still some things that they could have made a little bit tighter. And I think that it would have made for a better movie.
Oh, see, and that's our
But it's still very good. It's still very, 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 very good. There were times where I felt like this was kind of pulled from one of those VHS films.
Oh.
You know what I mean? Like, it kind of reminded me of an entry in a VHS movie.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah,
And I don't know. Have you
yeah.
seen the VHS films?
No, I haven't.
Okay.
I know which one you're talking about, though, because it's comparable. Like, if you've seen this, you'll like this type of film.
Yeah. So, again, though, very good. Highly recommended. I mean, this movie is, it's good. Like, once it gets to the good parts, it's 100% worth the wait. And I think that the girl, Ingrid Torelli, is a wonderful gem of an actor. And I really like David Desmalchian. I think that he's good in everything that he's in. I loved him in the Belko Experiment. I think he's so good in the Belko Experiment. Small little part.
The guy's like, he's really good to look at during the movie. He has some really nice thighs.
He's handsome.
I was like, yeah, them good old strong legs.
He's a handsome guy.
What was I going to say too? I totally forgot.
Oh, and the effects, the fucking visual effects at the end are fucking
Visual
outstanding.
effects are good.
Outstanding. Do you have anything you want to add before?
No, I was going to say something else that was kind of cool, but I totally fucking flipped just because I thought of his legs. I was like, damn, Jack's legs.
You're so funny. Well, if you guys want to follow us on social media, please do. We are on Instagram and Twitter and kind of on X. We don't really, well, X is Twitter. We're kind of there. We don't really go on there anymore. But we're also on Threads, and we are on YouTube under The Gory Gaze. And you can email us with any comments or suggestions at thegorygaze@gmail.com. That's it, guys. We'll be back soon with, what is it in Spanish?
La mesita baja.
Or the coffee table.
Coffee table.
And if you guys are feeling frisky, feel free to go check out our video commentary on Mother's Day from 1980, the Trauma classic. And we just released a Beetlejuice trailer reaction as well on YouTube. You can also watch it on our Instagram. Stay gory, guys.
Stay gory, stay gay.
Bye.
Bye, guys.